he muttered, but there was a fondness in his voice too. So would you, if you'd spent the last week indoors, bent over briefs. I swear, it was as though all the courts did this week was produce the most inscrutable paperwork imaginable for my own personal punishment. They're testing you, Darcy said. They don't like the fact that your father recognises you as a solicitor, and therefore expects the courts to do so as well. I know, Lizzie said, but she was unable to keep from sounding peeved. And they can keep trying to trip me up, but I am one step ahead of them. Despite her bravado, Lizzie didn't always feel quite so confident. She hadn't admitted to Darcy that she'd needed her father's help on 2 of the cases, and she'd misfiled one of her responses to a patent case that had nearly cost her client everything he owned. Only her father, and his influence, had kept the case from completely unravelling. Even though she didn't tell Darcy these things, he seemed to understand her inner turmoil, for he squeezed her arm gently and said, Naturally, I have no doubt that you shall show them your mettle. I do, however, have doubts as to your sense of direction. They had come upon an intersection, and despite her confidence up until this moment in navigating their way, Lizzie had hesitated ever so slightly. Darcy, being attuned to her movement, had certainly noticed. I'm not lost, she repeated as she looked left, then right. Lizzie, he said with a sigh, if we need... This way. She made the impulsive decision to turn left, dragging him along with her. Do not think I am unsupportive of your more unusual business practices, Darcy said, allowing himself to be led. But I have to wonder, if this Mr. Mullins truly wanted to engage your services, wouldn't he come to Longbourn rather than have you wandering through unfamiliar dockside neighbourhoods? First of all, it's not unfamiliar. I told you I've been there before. Second, I'm hardly alone when I have you. At that, Darcy finally cracked a small smile, and Lizzie felt a thrill of triumph rush through her. Getting Darcy to smile was akin to writing a perfectly elegant, unimpeachable sentence in a brief, one no sour solicitor at a competitor's firm could find fault with. But as he was Darcy, he was not content to let her win this argument. My point still stands. I don't see how permitting disagreement in the Western Exchange requires a visit to the gentleman's storehouse. Gentlemen, she corrected. Mr. Mullins, Jack, and his brother Simon co-own the business. And besides, we have a history. The Mullins' brothers were my first case. The one where the man died and his business partner tried to take the assets? Darcy's forehead creased as he drew up the memory, and Lizzie smiled. Despite his grumbling, Darcy always listened and, what's more, he remembered what she told him. Yes, and his sons came to Papa to get the business back, she continued. The brothers sued the man. There was some nonsense involving paperwork and missing files, but, well, we got that all cleared up in no time. She smiled brightly at Darcy, but he was shaking his head. Missing files, They were recovered. You are good at recovering missing or lost things, he noted. Do you think you can recover your sense of direction? He indicated up ahead, where the street dead-ended into a brick wall. Lizzie stopped sharply. Oh, that's new. Is it? Darcy asked, dubious. Come on, we'll go around. She pulled Darcy down a nearby alley, sidestepping dank puddles. And don't look at me that way. You were happy for an excuse to leave the office and get out too. Besides, it's just a little alley, and I'm sure once we come out up here... Lizzie trailed off, because unfortunately for her and for Darcy's opinion of her navigational skills, when they emerged onto the street, Lizzie was completely lost. This street was full of storehouses and workyards, with labourers, mostly men, focused on their tasks or coming and going. Lizzie and Darcy stuck out like a sore thumb in their finely made clothes, and Lizzie's dainty boots didn't stand a chance against the muddy...